विश्वमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दिनुते गिरिवरविन्द्यशिरोदिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति हेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरदर्शिनि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि हर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि किल्बिषमोषिणि घोषरते धनुजनि रोषिणि दितिश्रुतरोषिणि दुर्मथतोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. Let me know if the audio is coming fine or not. Today we have back with us mysterious sociologist who has to stay anonymous because of the very liberal nature of liberal arts academia in India and the world over. So good evening, Professor Lizelot.
गुड इवनिंग. अब अवार्ड तुम्हारे चैनल से अवार्ड कब मिल रहा है? When am I getting the awards?
Yeah, we'll give a lifetime achievement award when you are 80 years old. So just before the live stream began, we were discussing that right now, I checked even yesterday, my viewership has 96.25% men. So at this point, officially, Andrew Tate has more female viewers than us. So it's a complete sausage fest. And we were discussing that so many sexual harassment cases come up in commie circles, SFI circles. Those stuff can't even happen probably in ABVP stuff, and we are not even ABVP. We are cooler guys. And even then, it's 96%, 96.2%, 25%.
How many
men.
of them identify as men? That is the main question.
Among the 96%.
What is even a woman?
Oh yeah.
What is a woman? That is the main question.
Yes, and the 4% who are watching, yes, if they can also shift to the men's side, there is some other avenues to open up. I can even boast of having a high transgender viewership. I think that would be great for my algorithm.
सही है.
Yes.
एकदम algorithm boost पूरा. I wanted to recommend to all of you Am I Racist? It is a brilliant movie, by the way. Anyway.
Yeah.
Chalo.
Laggard in Love is here for the 4%, representing the 4. It's the 4% versus 96%.
Ekdam.
So today's topic is mysterious sociologist is apparently not that worried about Bengal. Why the fuck so?
No, everyone is worried about West Bengal. I am not. I am quite.
Right.
I won't say optimistic, but I'm not worried. There was a movie called Why I Started Loving the Bomb. वो एक movie था ना, Kubrick का, I think. Dr. Strangelove, and how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb. Right.
What bomb? B-O-M-B?
B-O-M-B, yeah.
Okay.
So this was a Kubrick movie, Stanley Kubrick movie.
Okay.
So I'm like, I mean, why am I worried so much? I worried a lot a few years, for quite a few years. I was extremely worried, having sleepless nights, thinking about whether this is the last Kali Puja, this is the last Durga Puja.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I so worried? I mean, we're on the brink of something like 1930s Germany, but who knows? Why not? Why should we stop living in the present, right? So I realized that two things will happen in the 2026 West Bengal Vidhan Sabha elections. One of two things. Either BJP will get its act straight here, which is not necessary, like which is not even a very difficult task for it. I'll tell you why. Because the BJP's opposition is a joke, essentially, even in the state of West Bengal.
Okay.
So it has to be a slightly more serious joke in that
Hmm.
sense. Like it has to be take itself slightly more seriously, and
Hmm.
it might just win. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, having said that, I'm not optimistic. I'm not one of those people who are saying, "Ha ha ha, wo kya bolenge?" That BJP is definitely coming. I had said that in the past, and now everyone hates me for it. I get it.
Hmm.
Now, I'm saying it might happen in 2026, or it
Hmm.
won't happen. Okay, it
Right.
is a possibility. It's a probability.
Hmm.
Now the other probability, which I guess might just end up happening, is BJP will not come to power. It will again linger somewhere around 90 to 100 seats in the Vidhan
Yeah.
Sabha,
Yeah.
and the present dispensation will rule again.
Hmm.
And that's fine. Actually, I realized one thing, that
Hmm.
if people want to get themselves, if people don't take their future seriously,
Hmm.
then why should we care about their future, right?
Okay.
Because as per my estimates in the last Vidhan Sabha,
Hmm.
uh, peacefuls have around 100 seats, 100 se thoda zyada, 100 maybe,
Okay.
where they dominate, like basically above 40-45%, where they decide the outcome of the election.
Hmm.
Okay. uh, Now the thing is that if BJP, if Hindus still are voting, a large section of Hindus are still voting for CPIM,
Hmm.
which gets still around 7%, 5-7% of the vote or whatever, and
Hmm.
Congress also, and then they are also voting for TMC in large numbers, the women at
Hmm.
least.
Hmm.
Then why the hell should I stay up at night worrying about the state?
Hmm.
Clearly, they are happy with whatever is going on in the state at some level.
Hmm.
So it's not my job to worry. So I've stopped worrying. Okay.
Now, just to keep this balanced and fair, or to play even the devil's advocate, I have two questions here.
Yeah.
Are you sure they are really not worried about the future, or is it that they think that this is how we are going to ensure some bright light in our future, or they are just too poor to care about the future? Like when Jordan Peterson came on Joe Rogan's podcast after Corona, he said
Huh.
that the best way to save the environment, or the best way to make people care about the environment today, is
Hmm,
to
hmm.
make as many people as rich as possible. Most people are not taking environmentally friendly steps in their lives is because they are too poor to give a fuck. So what's going on here in West Bengal, do you think, in terms of caring about the future?
I think yeah, they are too poor. Mostly the per capita GDP, if the real figures ever come out,
Hmm.
I think will be uh it will be horrible. It will be, I guess, below Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh and all. Okay. If it actually comes out, the per capita proper GDP figures. Okay. So if
I
that
see.
is the case, then people here are just living hand to mouth. In which case, they do not have time for any kind of lofty ideals or future prediction and economy and this and that. They don't have time or the intelligence to comprehend that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
um so that's the thing, that is where the problem is, that uh if they are too poor to care,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
even if essentially BJP is throwing money at them and saying that we can get you a better thing, if you can see that the other states where BJP is ruling is having a better standard of life and stuff and whatever, and
Hmm.
they still don't care about it at all at some level, then it's fine. Let them, that's that meme, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Fuck around and
So
find out.
yeah, fuck around and find out. That's fine. And now I have realized that you can't tell a group of people. Now I have defended Bengal, saying that yes, jo 40% BJP ko mil raha hai, that is pretty staggering, by the way. Pretty good, considering the absolute shit show that BJP pulled off in 2021 by
Hmm.
inducting any and everyone in the party and whatnot. Even that shit show later, even now with a completely broken, party structure in the state and everything, it's still pulling off 40 because some people are clearly worried. But my point is that number will decrease heavily. Like it will be like, when people who faced partition, I guess they will know better that some people before the 40s they realize that shit's gonna hit the fan. Okay, and they ran out as fast as they could.
Yeah,
The
35 onwards.
35 से 45 तक जो लोग भाग गए बांग्लादेश से,
Yeah.
they got the best deals. Okay,
Yeah.
they came here, they were able to sell off their lands. They came here, they kind of settled in relatively decent places, although they will all say that we were very poor, we were suffering a lot. But the truth is they were not all suffering that much. Okay,
Right.
the 35 to 40 people, मतलब जो लोग उस time पे आए थे, and they came and they got the sweeter deal, and they became the leadership class of the Bangals and the Communist Party. Okay.
Yes.
So then they totally forgot about that and completely, now they are all their best friends and everything, peaceful best friends and all that. So that's fine. I guess, there is not much we can do at this rate. There is not a lot to do for a bunch of people who would love to live in poverty and die in poverty at some level, right? It's okay. They have accepted their fate. They have accepted that if they go to a hospital, they will not be treated. If they
these things are pretty accepted.
Are so horrible, they will just their cards will break down. They will probably die on the way to the hospital. They're okay with this stuff. They're okay with paying extra electricity costs because some neighborhoods of Calcutta do not pay electricity bills. You know why? So they are okay with paying for their brothers in those areas. They are all okay with all this, and then that's fine. Honestly, I think why the hell should BJP care for these people either?
No,
BJP
should care because they need MPs. They need power.
That is the
Modi is a
only
power hungry fascist.
Man, if the BJP was really power hungry, they would have done something in 2024. They didn't. I think it was also a matter of I guess, I mean, I'm not gonna say much about it because in that sense, like, people will say, oh, you predicted this and it never happened. But the truth is that I'm not giving an excuse, but 2024 there were some weird things about that election, because in some places BJP did really well and some places it just like it was like a textbook failure. So I don't understand how that happens. Like, if a central government is somewhat, is doing so well in Orissa but horribly in West Bengal, or horribly in Uttar Pradesh and well in Bihar and other places. So I'm I don't know how that happened. Having said that, West Bengal is again always going to be a special case where the people themselves are still kind of ostriches. They're buried their heads in the sand. And why should I waste my effort trying to pull it out? That is my question. Okay, and honestly, if the BJP were so concerned about the state, they could do a lot about a lot of things. Okay, they would do, right? Of course, again, I'm not discounting. I'm not saying every Hindu in West Bengal is like this. That is the problem of us talking in hyperbole, in a sense.
Yeah.
There is a large chunk. I'm saying 40% of the electorate means a lot of people and their families, even those who couldn't vote. A lot of people who couldn't vote.
Yeah.
A large number of people, Bengali Hindus, are definitely concerned. Like perhaps you are. I am no longer. You are. Okay. But I think that it's fine. It's fine. If it's their fate, I would say act on it. Try to sell your lands here, run away. Why the hell should you worry about you're worried about your brother who's clearly doesn't care about the house. Okay,
who's a drug addict and loses all money gambling.
He's not intent on saving himself. Why the hell are you worried about his future? So till 2026, I guess only one thing will be clear, whether the BJP is at all serious about West Bengal or not. If it is not, and I think it's not BJP's loss, honestly, West Bengal can always be that one state where they can show the pictures and mobilize
to
people in other states.
sell themselves. Yeah, yeah.
And I would have done that. I would have done that. Well, why the hell should I
Yeah,
care
they
about
will.
Bengal, right? Why the
Yeah.
hell should I care about a bunch of people
हमको वोट दो
who
नहीं तो
voted?
वेस्ट बंगाल आ जाएगा or you'll become
And
West Bengal.
I would do that. I'd just take the local pictures and show it to everyone in Gujarat and wherever, I'd say, देखो भाई, ये CPM को वोट डालोगे ऐसा होगा, कांग्रेस को वोट डालोगे ऐसा होगा, TMC को वोट डालोगे ऐसा होगा. Great. I think
Yeah.
that works. I mean, if to save the whole body, your gangrenous foot needs to be cut off. It needs to be
I
cut
was
off.
going to talk about gangrene. Yes, amputations are on the table at some point, at least. I believe in 100 years, but
Huh.
it is an infectious part of the
And
body. And see, let's
so
see if
that,
chemo works at
I
the moment.
think, see, personally, I'm a big fan of partition in that sense that
Ish.
whoever
Ish.
did that, I mean, they saved India in the long run in many ways.
If Congress comes to power, you are going to get UAPA now. Not just losing job and stuff. You are going to get Deshdroho Mamla.
No, I'm a fan in the sense that I think it was a sound, logical plan. Whoever did it, they did it wrongly. They did it horribly. The planning and execution were horrible, as is with every government thing, right? So, वो है, but intention भी ठीक था उसमें कि how can you keep a part of your body intact if that part is rebelling against the rest of your body? If your arm is punching you in the face, you got to cut off the arm. It's as simple as that. So that's there. Now, my point is this, that it's fine, really. Exactly, Neener got it right. Neener wrote the right thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, why should the rest of India even care about Bengal?
That's my point in 100 years, not right now. I think
but
people shouldn't, and
it is
people should
not their
remember what
job.
mistakes we
It's
made.
not their job to save a bunch of people who voted the CPM for 7 times. When you vote for the Communist Party 7 times in a row, there is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Clearly. And you voted out the communists when they were starting to do work.
And to be fair to non-Bengalis, no matter what kind of treatment Bengalis today get, maybe fairly, maybe unfairly, maybe because of the stature of West Bengal in general in the country and stuff, but it's pretty much given among all non-Bengalis, especially because of the education system, the way they've been brought up, to have insane amounts of respect for Bengalis of yesteryears. In every field, in every profession, people at least know that up until a few years back, in everything, a Bengali having a Bengali meant he was insanely fucking special in something or the other. Like, you go to Bollywood, any random beginner goes to Bollywood, if he's from Bengal, he still commands some respect that, okay, you probably are better than everyone else in something or the other. It's a given. So it's not like people inherently wanted to hate Bengalis forever and ever. It's just that we are squandering every opportunity we get.
No, and that's okay, because you see, we're doomed to be the California of this country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're worse than California, because frankly, California still has, I think they went quite red in this election. Okay. It proves that even Californians have brains sometimes.
But their GDP is bigger than India, no? They have some legs to stand on.
California has done shit to itself, which is like on the brink of suicide. Like, in some way, a very strong federal structure, which means almost like no effect of the central government on the states, like the latest voter ID laws, right? That Newsom passed. That is crazy, right? वो अभी तक नहीं हुआ Bengal में, and that's a good thing that we're still attached to India in that sense.
Yeah.
It won't take long for it to whatever. I won't say it, but my point is कि California मतलब एक अलग ही मतलब देश बन गया है अमेरिका में, with 54 electoral votes. Now I have a hunch 2030 इसके बाद कम होने वाला है, because a large number of people have left California specifically because of this. And if you notice the trends of this year's California election ka vote, a lot of it has gone red. A lot of counties have gone red in California.
अच्छा.
हाँ, वो बाद में perhaps you can check it out.
Yeah.
Now, my point is this, that जो भी हो, just like it was insanely prosperous a few years back, a few decades back, and now it's it's basically a place where anyone can take a dump on your front lawn and you can't do anything, or a drug addict can come. Anna Kasparian gets sexually harassed there. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's the kind of place it has become.
yeah,
So it's going to happen
yeah.
sometime in the future. And
Yeah,
the
what
worst part,
Goddank is saying here, that is what I was trying to point out. Like people like Sitaram Goel, Sanjay Dikshit, all of these people, like some of them know a bit of Bengali. Either they've studied here and stuff, or a lot of them learned Bengali just to read Rabindranath Tagore or Bonkim
yeah,
in its
yeah,
primary source and stuff.
yeah,
Uh, the yesteryears of non-Bengalis always looked up to Indians.
precisely.
I mean Bengalis. Now I have two questions from the chat box that I want to take. First, let's
Yeah,
take Rishi's question, which I guess you won't take that seriously, but it is a serious question among a lot of people. That are the temples and Shaktipeeth in Bengal worth fighting for? I'm a non-Bengali. How do we let go of those things?
well, Dhakeshwari Mandir was a big mandir in Bangladesh. Now there's nothing there. I think it is there. Other Romna Kalibari was destroyed in
Hmm.
1946. Who
Hmm.
cares? I mean, who cares? As in, if the population does not exist, what's the point of that? Matlab, abhi Mayan structures exist, right? Like the
Right.
Mayan Machu Picchu and all that stuff exists. Who cares? The
Yeah.
Mayans themselves are no longer there. हाँ
Yeah.
वो हेरिटेज साइट बना दो. अच्छा जो जो
Yeah.
है 200-500 साल पुराना है, हेरिटेज साइट बना दो बस.
Let me give you two examples to point out exactly how much the entirety of the South American indigenous culture has been decimated. Okay, I don't think any other culture in the entire world has been decimated completely 100%. Maybe yeah, of course, the Greek culture and stuff. Yeah, yeah, there are other examples also. But you
Yeah,
see, just a few days back, I was watching a guy perform different dance forms of different countries.
yeah,
So he dances beautifully. Every dance form from so many versatile countries and diverse continents everywhere, from everywhere. Okay,
yeah.
guess what he dances when it comes to South America? Okay, standard
What?
European ball dance, Vienna or West Classical
Precisely,
Orchestra stuff.
precisely, precisely.
Then
So
like Kaushik Gangopadhyay
precisely.
points out in his book the majoritarian myth, that uh, South America is one of those places which where nobody has an LTSE. No one has any hatred for anybody. It's so culturally homogenized. There's no black white differences even. It's completely Latino, which is the females of the indigenous people were raped by Spaniards and Portuguese, and that's the population now. Anything pre-European is gone, just blank now.
And honestly, that won't happen in Bengal. Matlab, see, what I see happening, perhaps if the other outcome, when I say two outcomes, one outcome I already said is BJP getting its act together, and the other is it not getting its act together, and the state continuing the way it is. Perhaps there is another set of outcomes there, like
No, no,
wo jo
we'll get to
as-
those later. We'll get
yeah,
to those later then.
yeah,
Okay, let's take A's question here. She was saying that don't aren't Hindu Bengalis scared of any other group? Okay, now
okay,
an
yeah,
interesting,
okay, I
yeah.
got it.
Before you answer that, let me just point out one interesting fact that many non-Bengalis miss out on, which is that wherever in the pockets or constituencies where Hindus are a majority in West Bengal, that's where BJP does poorly. Where there is a significant non-Hindu population, that's where BJP does well. Okay, so there is an awareness of certain things. Now, the Dadavpur constituency is very, very interesting in this Lok Sabha elections because the BJP candidate did not campaign at all. The Trinamool candidate obviously is a serial star, a film star. She campaigned her ass out, and the CPM guy, young CPM leader, hardly in CPM, he's SFI DYFI guy, so and is probably
Uh-huh.
younger than me or just my
Nice
age.
guy, very nice
Uh,
guy. Yeah,
plays the asceticism card to the T. Has a lala kabla, bhola bhala, dadi wadi look, wears Hawaii choti and stuff.
1 crore,
But
1 crore. Hmm.
yeah, has 1 crore in bank. But that guy, everyone thought would come second at least. That guy comes third. BJP, without any fucking campaigning, comes second. Okay, with no effort on the almost no effort on the part of BJP or the candidate. Okay, that tells you something. Now your answer.
No, I think that's a very good analysis of exactly what I wanted to say, that there is a sizable chunk of bongs who do care about the future of the state. my point is ki that is still not the critical mass needed. Matlab, in other states, in many states where there are typically 3-4 parties vying for power, a party with 38.5% vote, whether BJP gets in West Bengal, would have come to power. But because Bengal has always been a bipolar contest since the last, I don't know, maybe 50 years or so, always bipolarity में जो होता है कि even if with a high vote share, with a high understanding of the problem and whatever, even then मतलब 4-5% के लिए पूरा खेल बिगड़ जाता है. Okay. 4-5% determines the rest of the future of the state. Okay, which is why you will notice that Democrats and Republicans में ज्यादा वोट का अंतर नहीं होता है. Sometimes Republicans don't even get the popular vote, but they get the presidency.
Yeah, only this time was an exception.
हाँ, ये तो अलग ही लेवल का वो हो गया, इसलिए ट्रम्प won. My point is that in a relatively bipolar contest, even with a very high degree of ideological commitment, like 40% of the vote staying stable for BJP for the last maybe 5 years or so, that is quite good. Like, I would say that is typically quite good. Maybe it would have even worked in a place like Maharashtra or something, okay? But it does not work in West Bengal, where it is bipolar, and that like CPM and Congress eat away like 4-5% of the Hindu vote. Even if CPM were to donate all its votes, which is a possibility, by the way, even if that were to happen, only then perhaps we can see a BJP getting 140 super or 35-40 seats.
Yeah.
So
now this is a very interesting question from Goddank XP. He is asking, is Mr. Sociologist an atheist? Because an Astik, as an Astik, we are not giving up on any part of Bharat, let alone Bengal. Organizations are forming here in Punjab, and we will not give it up. Now, the question is not really important if Mr. Sociologist is an atheist or not, because let me remind you, Goddank, that today you might be a truly honest, passionate, devout Hindu, okay? But society in general, you obviously admit that is not largely that passionately devout Hindu, right? Anymore, right? Now, what about when most of the society was much more devout and Hindu? What happened then? Our ancestors gave up on so many pieces of land.
Yes.
So I think what you are saying here is just an emotional outburst of a statement, and it has practically no value or implications in reality. And if I am with you in the pain.
Your religiosity will determine the future of the state. That is the main thing. Your religiosity.
And I am with you in the pain, because I also believe that parts of Bangladesh needs to be invaded. It should be invaded. Then those territories and parts of Pakistan, of course, and then it should be kept as India's union territory and stuff. But I'm saying it's not going to happen, and you may end up having to give up more pieces of land because people who are much more devout than you already gave up on those things. And even Congress, okay, just because Nehru gave off commie atheist vibes, don't think that the entirety of Congress was like that. Most people in Congress were not atheist commies. Most of the country was not atheist commies. All of them gave up for unfair reasons, and some for just reasons that okay, we just can't live with them anymore.
Exactly. Acha,
काय question नितो बोलला?
Heir of Slytherin আগেরটা, মানে his last comment তার আগের কমেন্টটা.
আচ্ছা.
हाँ, I agree. Center के interference के बिना West Bengal में change नहीं होता है, but can you understand that the people of West Bengal also can change? Like, they have a idea. Like, देखो, what happened in the US this time, everything was stacked against Trump, right? Matlab, there was a emotion that helped Trump win. Okay, ek emotion, logic, jo bhi bolo. My point is that has pervaded almost 40% of the electorate. But 5-6% people are not the crucial 5-6%. They're still voting for CPIM. Can you imagine still voting for CPIM in 2024? People are doing it. 4-5% people are doing it. Many seats BJP would have won if CPM ka vote shifted to BJP. Okay. So what's happening is some Hindus, they still value क्या वो communist party ने कुछ किया था शायद उनके लिए, that stuff more than their future. Or they are like, ये जो है ना, देखो, till 2011, if you check the electoral map, CPM got 40% of the popular vote in West Bengal. Okay. Even when
Which
it
year?
lost
Let's cast it on the
11,
screen. Which year? 11.
2011,
Hmm.
it got almost 40% if I'm not mistaken. TMC
Yeah.
Congress मिला के 42% था, which means CPM got a huge mandate in even in 2011 when it lost. Okay. If you add up all the left front votes basically, okay,
Yeah.
so niche ja ektu,
Hmm.
so it shows CPIM 30%, but if you add all the left parties it is almost 40%. Okay.
Look at Kolkata's votes. Look at those proud fucking assholes voting against the Tata factory.
Ha. Mm.
These are,
Abhi,
আমি ভাবলাম গালি দেবো না বাড়া.
the
Yeah.
interesting thing is if you look at the red parts of that map,
Hmm.
very interestingly in South Bengal those are actually Muslim constituencies.
Oh. So they
But
shift votes a little later.
the same map, if you see in 2016, that goes completely in favor. So even when the CPM was getting 40%, that was based on Muslim votes. Okay.
Hmm.
It is the Hindus who implemented this change primarily, except in Malda Murshidabad, where Congress Muslims
Right.
votes.
Yeah.
This electoral map can be replicated still at some level. Matlab ulta, matlab it can be
Yeah.
done at some level.
Yeah. Hmm.
But the time is reducing, the time is no longer there much. Okay. Yes, center, even let's say center doesn't care. I assume center doesn't. Okay, I agree, center doesn't. So what my point is, at some level we are still getting some democratic rights to see the red has turned green completely. Okay. The same constituencies, the same people. So basically what does that mean? That the loyalty so called that they had in 2011, that is completely shifted. Within a span of 5 years it has completely shifted back to the where
Arguably, which the 5 years which were the best years of actual performance by Mamata Banerjee. She did some good stuff in those 5 years.
Nay, the main thing was, you don't remember, I guess, or perhaps you do remember, were some rallies that she did in Calcutta where she did some stuff. Okay. That won them over like crazy. Okay. Precisely. Moinak Bhattacharya has the right point. Basically, if people are still getting a chance to vote, why do you blame the center if you still have a chance? मतलब ये तो कोई मतलब feudal rule नहीं है ना. This is not a monarchy where Modi will decide who will be the feudal lord of West Bengal.
No, because they pretend to be patriots. They are sitting on a bunch of money and power. They are getting those privileges, and therefore it's their duty to care about West Bengal. That's it. They are not any common fuckers like us.
Perhaps they feel that it is not necessary at this time. And honestly, see, Kashmir was always a sort like Kashmir ko dikha ke they always got more votes out of other places, right?
Yes. I was going to take that question. Rishi actually pointed it out that then why are we even fighting over Kashmir then? It's amputation might not be the only option. The other option might be you have a paralyzed limb. So that's what Kashmir is today. Maybe we'll have another paralyzed limb.
Yeah. And dekho, this is not evil. I don't think of good and evil in this sense. I think of what is a trade-off. Our trade-off is ki matlab Bengali Hindus wherever they are sitting, exactly. But heir of Slytherin, you are making one mistake, that 40% vote in a bipolar contest does not mean shit. Like if you count Kamala Harris's votes, I think she got above 40% of the votes. She got 47 point something votes, right? But it doesn't mean shit in a bipolar contest. In a tripartite contest, there it makes a lot of difference. Okay, so tripartite nahi hoga. Bengal mein nahi hoga tripartite ever. If BJP by mistake comes to power, dekho, this was a possibility of replication in 2021. But crucially, dekho, go down. See these the western part, okay, and some parts right above the southern part, like right before you go to the chicken neck area. That region there are still seats with a good Hindu population, but they didn't vote for BJP. Okay, they didn't vote for BJP.
Hmm.
The western part, you see there is a large green section in the western part. I'm not saying that is completely Hindu, but that has a large chunk of Hindu seats. Like when you break
Hmm.
it down by Vidhan Sabha, it actually makes it actually there's a greater possibility because Lok Sabha is a collection of Vidhan Sabhas, right? So
This is
in Lok Sabha,
2021 Vidhan Sabha.
exactly. So in Vidhan Sabha, it is easier for you to break down the leads, and you
Hmm.
can get what it could have been much better than this, much better.
Hmm.
और ये भी है कि हाँ BJP has had some, like everyone, like Tathagatorai alleged that, and it's not really an allegation anymore, it's kind of proven that uh, people took money and women and all that.
Hmm.
That's okay, but my point
Yeah.
is that, are you, so you're angry at a political party which is holier than thou, of course you are angry at them, so what you do is you vote for another political party which is somewhat even worse according to some people,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if you have to spite Modi, I guess, why
Hmm.
are you spitting in your own face? That
Hmm.
is my logic.
Hmm. Now, Rishi or Goddank explained that. No, I want to point out to them that, see, our ancestors were devout Hindus. You may say that they were, because someone in the comment section pointed out that we were a poorer country, so we had to accept a lot of things which today we don't. But my point is that what Mr. Sociologist actually clarified with Goddank XP, that the religiosity did not matter. It did not matter
Yeah,
back then. It's not going to matter even today. How much you
yeah,
are devout towards that piece of land, it's not going to matter in the end. It's all about shenanigans and shenanigans. Maybe because of the devoutness today, you will show off your economic might and claim that land anyway. Maybe. Now, Mr. Sociologist, I'm
yeah.
confused about a few the order of the questions. I'll just tell you what are my questions, and you pick and choose which to start from. Okay, because
Okay.
it's such an open-ended discussion we are having today that anything can be asked at this point. So one is a collection of 5 questions.
Yeah,
What does
sure.
Abhishek, as for now, the way things are going, I think Abhishek is going to be the CM in 2026. But what
I
does
think
Abhishek need to do to be the CM in 2026? What does Shubhendu need to do to become the CM in 2026? Is there any chance at all for Mamta to be the CM in 2026? What happens if Abhishek becomes CM? What happens if Shubhendu becomes CM? Best case scenario, worst case scenario. And you need to point out what happened with the tabs, the scam with tablets. Okay. And
हाँ,
why
देखो
TFR
इस डिप्रेसिंग मैप को थोड़ा हटा दो भाई,
T-
ये बहुत ज्यादा can't see
why
so much deep.
TFR
Yeah.
is TFR going down even at all associated with capitalism? These are the questions we are going to tackle.
ये लास्ट जो एकदम लास्ट क्वेश्चन है वो अलग ही लेवल का क्वेश्चन है, वो एकदम साइड में रखो, वो लास्ट में लेंगे.
Right.
Next, what uh, our prince needs to do to come to power?
Huh.
I won't say it because what my ideas are very bad ideas. I won't say it out loud. Okay,
Hmm.
but I think that uh, the prince might come to power. Okay,
Hmm.
if Bengali Hindus are behaving the same manner that they are, even
Hmm.
after seeing what's happening in their neighboring country, if they're seeing what's happening in RG Court, if they're seeing what's happening in the tab case, which I will explain in 5 minutes,
Hmm.
if all that, if after seeing all that they are still not changing their vote preferences, then I see why Prince might come to power. Now, if Prince
Hmm.
comes to power, I predict that, and again, I have been wrong in my predictions, except with West Bengal, I've
Okay,
always been wrong.
before the prediction, how about I give you some reasons to be an Abhishek supporter today, in the same way that people were who had decided that we are not going to vote for CPIM anymore, but voted for CPIM just because Buddhadev Bhattacharya Buddhadev Agarwal was the candidate. Okay, in that same way that yes, we kind of voted for Trinamool to kick out CPM. Yes, we kind of voted for Trinamool to keep the Hindu fascists away. And now, yes, Mamata Banerjee is really running the state into the ground, but Abhishek won't do it. Abhishek is a brand new, fresh ray of hope. What's the
Yeah,
problem with that argument? How do you prove to people that he is not, in fact, a ray of hope? Do you have any way to prove that even?
I will give both arguments. Okay,
Yeah.
so my first argument is that if you're asking why, what are the, like, pros and cons, let's make a pros and cons list. Like if let's say prince comes to power, then the prince will have to deal with a lot of bureaucrats and local netas who are now ruling like feudal lords in different districts. Okay, because his vision, as I have understood, is one of relative reform, internal reform in the party.
Yeah.
अभी गड़बड़ होने वाला है. Okay, now uh, if let's say uh, if he is able to displace some of these IPS, IAS, and some of these people who are really powerful and all that, perhaps the vote machinery will become inept. Matlab, the very thing that got him, the same way Buddha Babu got screwed, right? The
Yeah.
Buddha Babu did reforms that screwed him in 2011, right?
You have to explain that. Most people don't get that. Why Buddha Bhattacharya got screwed in the first
Buddha
place?
Babu stopped being Stalinist like Jyoti Babu. Buddha Babu के अंदर Gorbachev का आत्मा आ गया था. Gorbachev was the guy who turned Russia into a democratic, मतलब USSR तोड़ के he made Russia a democratic country. Whatever democracy means there, whatever. मतलब बुद्ध, and he got I think Nobel Peace Prize also. Anyway, so Buddha Babu में वो आ गया था कि Buddha Babu when they got 235 seats in 2006 election, बुद्धदेव भट्टाचार्य ये है ही हमारे लाइव स्ट्रीम में भी है. Anyway, so this part is important. So he implemented some reforms by giving his opposition more space, because he thought that bhai, I am bringing industries, I am developing the state, I am giving jobs, so why the fuck would the state vote against me, right?
And he took power away from rent seekers and bypassed those rent seekers in front of whom you are
screwed up
supposed to
a lot
bow.
of these local netas, right? And
Yes.
you see what happened. Those same guys and some people of the DS, some people with international funds, some people with whatever, what we mean, and some actual Naxals, which is actually recorded. Like Buddha was attacked by Naxals. Okay. So all that stuff went against him, and we've discussed many times that how all of this happened after the 2007 nuclear deal fiasco of CPIM. So
and the main narrative that they drew up or cooked up against Buddhadev Agarwal was that his arrogance. Okay, now growing up in India, we are supposed to worry about stuff like a CM's arrogance.
Yes.
The imperfectness in the legalities of the land acquisition, and the dumb fuck gullible idiot fucking Bengalis of West Bengal in 2011 fell for that. These are the two things we must really focus on.
The worst part about that story is, till the time CPM was actually whatever, Modi Jhapi, Nondigram later, Modi Jhapi, 93 ka Calcutta attack, Anando Margi, all this stuff CPM did. People voted for them like anything. People voted in droves for them. Okay.
Yes.
Although the Congress was intact till 98, they could have voted the Congress for 20 years. They waited. They didn't vote for Congress to power. Although Congress had some decent leaders as well back then. Okay. मतलब इतना भी घटिया नहीं था कांग्रेस का हाल. So they could have, they didn't. The moment this guy wanted to do reforms, and he did implement some inter party reforms and all that stuff, bas khatam.
And what was it all based on? Allegedly, Buddhadev Bhattacharya's arrogance was that he doesn't listen to every fucking idiot commie socialist in his party. And secondly, he made a statement that a journalist asked, what about the protests being done by Trinamool? And he said, yes, so what? We have 235 seats, they have 35 seats. How am I supposed to care about the views of 35 MLAs instead of the 235 MLAs that I have? And that became the headline for 5 years. That's a sign of arrogance. Okay. And I know so many men back then in their late 20s and early 30s who were lifelong CPM supporters. All they could say was, Buddhadever dambho. Buddhadev Bhattacharya is too arrogant. Mamata Banerjee is humble. Every other CM is humble. All prime ministers we have were humble. Jyoti Basu was humble. Buddhadev Bhattacharya is the arrogant fuck who can't be voted.
Fucking funny, man.
Yes.
Jyoti Basu humble.
Yes.
I keep telling about some journalists I met, right? Like, and they used to be like, Jyoti Basu used to do press conferences like this. Okay, ta bole debo. Ota kore dilo. Ha, okay bole dilam. So if you ask him a question like, sir, what is the what are plans for that area to be developed. He'll be like, okay, ota bole debo, ota hoye jabe. Now who is there, nobody knows. Like Jyoti Basu didn't give a shit about anyone. Arrogance सीख रहा है तो भाई ज्योति बासु से सीखो ना. पूरा suck लौंडा, tiny guy, एकदम spotless धोती पंजाबी, पूरा कड़क एकदम, पूरा स्कॉच पिएगा, कुछ और नहीं. एकदम एटीट्यूड सीखना है तो भाई से सीखो एकदम. He could give Punjabis, like he could give बादशाह run for his money. Okay, वो वाला एटीट्यूड बादशाह कोई किसी के पास नहीं होगा. हाँ, धोती पड़े स्कॉच वो अलग है. My point is, वो सब छोड़ो, वो तो है पास्ट में हो खत्म. My point is that यही है, this is the irony that if somebody does try to reform the state in the way that Buddha Babu tried, they will get screwed. Okay, badly. Because the power the power brokers within the state, they cannot tolerate these reforms. They love the status quo. Okay, having said that, now I still believe Prince wants reform. Okay,
I believe so too. But he's going to face the exact same problems. He'll have to disempower rent seekers and people who run the insanely corrupt, diseased, infectious infrastructure of the state at the moment.
Perhaps he can take a leaf out of Buddha Babu's case and not be so democratic, perhaps. Because let's face it, the internal party structure of the TMC is nothing like the CPIM. The CPIM had many, like the
right, it's more centralized
parties and whatever. Like the CPIM itself was a very decentralized party in that sense, like relatively. Like, but here you have Prince and Queen. You have nobody else. So,
but see, that's only in theory, right? In practice, it's not that anymore. Which is why Mamta can't do any more reforms.
Do you really believe she can't do or she won't do? I have a feeling.
I think she can't do, which is why Abhishek either
this is all, you know, this is the problem with social science kind of experimentation, that unless it happens, we will never know what will happen. Okay, nahi bhi ho sakta hai. Matlab, I'm thinking if internal reforms are done undemocratically, very undemocratically, in a very, you know, strong way, okay, then now matlab, it could have a good effect, it may not.
Now I'm saying Mamta can't see. There's one proof. 11 to 16, Mamta did good stuff. Roads, some efforts here and there. 16 to 21 was blank. It was the worst phase in West Bengal's history. Yeah, and nothing has. We have some nice restaurants at the moment. So why would she? And she struggled all her life. She got beaten up and stuff to do nice stuff, and she did some nice stuff. She did some genius master strokes, handling the Gorkha revolutions and stuff. Why would she all of a sudden bury her head in the sand after 2016? Because she lost control.
Precisely. And okay, yeah, perhaps you have a point. My thing is that Prince wants reform. That is my only that's my only takeaway, like, or giveaway rather. My only point today. Regarding that, and how he will come to power, I do not know. I have some ideas, but I won't say them. Okay, in the show.
Yeah.
And now, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. It's not right, wrong. It's just I see it happening. That's all.
Beyond good and evil.
Beyond good and evil, exactly.
Yeah. Now, Buddha's question is interesting here.
Why do they get screwed? Like, why do people want status quo? Like, artists will earn more. ये तुम्हारे लिए ना, मतलब this is where you have to understand, I guess, the role of asceticism in the communist by communist leaders, which they ingrained into Bengalis. Okay, they like, when Bengali, matlab kya hai na, for over a century, okay, especially in the 20th century, right, when Bengalis lost most of their industrial prowess, the business acumen, and businesses started, matlab Marwaris doing business is nothing new. Bengalis lost that business acumen in the late 1800s. Okay, early 1900s, the Bengali businessman was slowly getting out of businesses. Now the point is that you can name a few, like Sir Biren and a few others. It doesn't make much sense because it won't matter. Now, matlab majorly they were, like, if you look at Calcutta in early 1800s and late 1800s, there's a huge difference. Like, matlab early 1800s, most top industrialists in Calcutta were bongs. Late
Yeah, yeah.
1800s, you don't see too many bongs, and then early 90s, 1900s and all afterwards, slowly, the number of bong industrialists, bong businessmen, they go down like
It
crazy.
starts
Okay.
decreasing.
Now, what you have is, matlab, these same bongs who are businessmen, uh, you will notice that they were lavish. Like, if you go to their houses in North Calcutta, some of them are palaces. Okay, they lived
Yeah.
in palaces. मतलब
Yeah.
कुछ जगह का ना कुछ देश का पैलेस देख के शर्मा जाएंगे, ऐसे ऐसे पैलेसेस थे इनके पास.
Because most of them
Now,
were descendants of zamindars anyway. They were not first
not
generation
necessarily,
entrepreneurs.
but they had, like, they were like, यार पैसा है खर्चा करेंगे, ऐसा टाइप का है. हाँ. But
They
what
they
happened is,
they
once they
bought.
started losing money, like their descendants and the Bhadralok class, when it came up, when this class started losing the grip, the money, okay, the cash, the fat stacks of cash, there was a turn against money. Like, matlab, angur fall talk, grapes are sour. Okay, they were like, we don't need money, and that's why this pretense of asceticism came. And you will notice that these high and mighty, why do people love revolutionaries but they never become any? Like, your idols are ascetics, your, like, kuch mila nahi zindagi mein, that kind of shit we've all heard, especially among bongs, right? That a jat guy, he will look up to a guy like, matlab, Sidhu Moosewala, or some, not Sidhu, some other, I don't know too many of these rap artists in Punjab, but whatever, their idols are people who sport thick chains and Mercedes Benz and all that stuff, right? But I
Yeah.
don't know too many cars, otherwise I would have named some other cars. Okay, Pajero Majero, wo sab hoga.
Hmm.
A Bengali does not, a Bengali middle class person, the Bhadralok class, is that his idol is not somebody like Badshah. His idol is some ascetic guy, okay, who never, matlab, even our, like, even if we maybe idolize somebody like Prince Darokanath or somebody, it would have made sense.
No,
Our
and the
idol,
first thing he would say to himself, or his relatives would say to him, is that
yeah,
আদার ব্যাপারীর জাহাজের কথা ভেবে কি হবে? It's the
exactly,
favorite phrase used by Bengalis to discuss
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Okay, that I'm just a guy who sells ginger in the local market. Why do I need to care about ships and stuff? And it's
precisely,
probably a
precisely.
reference to Darkanath Thakur himself.
Yeah, and that's the other issue. Like, our status symbols became not powerful businessmen or industrialists and all. Our status symbols became, revolutionaries who never got anything in life, and they didn't even do that. Like revolutionary ko bana diya, but revolution bhi nahi kiya khud. Matlab, wo Naxal movement ho gaya, khatam. And another thing that journalist tells me is that, ex journalist, जो हुआ कि he told me that after the Naxal movement, what happened is the brightest minds who could have been harbingers of economic change, like could have started startups or small businesses or some new ideas, innovative ideas, they could have earned lots of money. A lot of those minds were either killed by the state or whatever, and rightly so, because they were participating in a anti-India protest, right? So in that sense, they were all eliminated very brutally, and
Yes, so those
that
bright students
created
were Naxals themselves.
exactly. So
Hmm.
what that did was, they did not develop that attitude where we have to progress. मतलब प्रोग्रेस करना पड़ेगा, पैसा करना पड़ेगा, घर बनाना पड़ेगा, ये करना, चार बिजनेस चलाना पड़ेगा. That the possibility of this, the brightest people who could have done this, they were eliminated. The people, and anyway, these guys never thought about it. Even if some of them did, they could have done it. वो potentially कट गया. Those potential minds were cut off. Okay,
Yeah,
at their youth.
yeah.
So, and also that's another reason he said that the communists stayed for 34 years, because oh, the communists, these people could have challenged those communist leaders like Jyoti Babu when they were doing stuff like, maybe not Modi. I Modi Jhapi kind of broke my faith in Bengali Bhadraloks completely. But let's say other stuff, right, where he was firing on youth Congress workers and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The challenge, the people who could have challenged these people, um, they kind of went, they lost it. Like, either they were out of the state or out of the country, or they were out of this world, as you know what I mean. So they died. So if that large chunk of intellectual, intelligent people who could have led the state, who could have led change in the state, even they were absent, then you have no people to lead any movement even against the left. And the left naturalized poverty culture. They
Yeah.
naturalized your 2 meals a day kind of romanticism.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we actually had a literal brain drain, and we had people with brains floating as dead bodies in the drains as well. We had two kinds of brain drains
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. If you can think
Um,
about it.
I want to respond to two nice questions here. One is by Niner. He's asking, where was this love for status quo during British times? You see, Niner, the Society of Bengalis in Kolkata was created after the British decided that we'll set up a city and capital and stuff here. So from the beginning itself, the status quo in Bengal or Kolkata was British only. So that was the love
Yes.
for the status quo. And Barbarika
Yes.
Smriti is saying that, do you think Buddha Babu lost because the people thought he was arrogant, or because he would have reduced the relative power of the feudal lords? It's actually connected. They thought
These
he's
are
so
connected.
arrogant
Yes.
that he is going to reduce the power of the feudal lords. And how can someone do that? That isn't that dictatorial? Isn't that
मतलब
fascist?
तुम तो उनसे नहीं मिल रहे हो ना. You don't know who he is, how he is.
Hmm.
Although
Yeah.
frankly I don't think this discourse was that helpful. The main discourse was that Mamata Banerjee was successful in her protest against him. This would never have happened in Jyoti Babu's time. This happened now, so so he's lost his grasp on the power. That is the
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah. And
Yes.
man, the brain drains that I face even in music, man. Oh my God, you won't believe, the non-musicians won't fathom. Like yesterday, someone asked a very nice question that in our midnight live stream, that do you think Bengal would have been saved even if the Tata factory happened? I said that economically, yes, we would have become another Tamil Nadu. We would still
Yeah.
be anti-Hindu. We would have nicer movies. We would have nicer, let's say, scholars, nicer
Yeah.
engineers,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
better influx of brains in the people would be less poor, etc. Okay,
Yeah.
so even that we have lost out on.
Yeah.
So uh, today, many people wonder, especially commies, that what happened to the music scene of Kolkata? Where have all the people gone? Where have all the great tastes of people gone? Okay, any kid I'm working with today, I'm 33 years old, and if I'm working with people in their early 20s, late teens and stuff, none of them have heard almost any music other than Cactus Fossils and Lokhichara. But on the other hand, because of the trickle down brilliant economic situation of the rest of the country, all these kids are having a pretty stable earning, okay, just by playing covers of Cactus Fossils and Lokhichara. The problem with us in our generation was that we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and picked up genres after genres, listened to genres after genres, researched different kinds of music, guitar playing, etc. But we never had any shows because there was no trickle down coming to West Bengal back then. There was absolutely no shows. We paid to band competition organizers and entered into competitions and played shows and stuff. And if at all there was any metal concert, it was a free concert. Obviously, no one even thought about getting paid. Now today, that was when we were in our early 20s and stuff,
Yeah.
and mid 20s, all the while. Okay, original music means zero payment. Okay, now today also original music means zero payment, but there is no original music even in the hearts and minds of the kids, the early 20s guys, because they have not heard anything other than Cactus Fossils. I have been playing some let's say matcha shows, okay, in neighborhoods and stuff, because we are now gearing up and poising ourselves and positioning ourselves to get more into the live music industry as well. Now what I'm seeing with young people are that they have not heard anything that we used to hear. They have not heard anything even in the modern times. As guitarists, you are supposed to hear great varieties of guitar players. As a drummer, you are supposed to hear varieties of drumming in every genre all around the world. All they have heard is Cactus versus Lokichara and fucking Ed Sheeran and a bit of Coldplay.
No, and why laugh at them? I mean, honestly,
It's
what
not
would
their
they get?
fault. Yes, it was not our credit that
What's
we
the
heard those
incentive?
things.
What's
It
the
was the credit of
incentive?
Buddha Bhattacharya and 1991
Exactly.
reforms.
And
Now, yeah, go on.
that's why I believe that. See, I'll tell you why I believe that Prince wants reform and he could bring some reform. It is because you guys think that the people, the all powerful lords of this world, okay, they don't want people like Trump or Javier Milei and all these people. You think they are absolutely opposed to these people or their ideas? That is why I believe that the time for keeping inept socialist governments that do not deliver economic growth, that time has gone slowly. मतलब और कुछ सालों में दिख जाएगा. I believe that people like Modi, people like Trump, people like Milei, people like Yogi Adityanath, Naib Bukele, all these people who are fueling high growth economies, they will be assets. जो भी हो. It's no coincidence that Trump won with such a huge majority. You guys might think that, oh, it's all, kahi to kuch wo ho gaya na. So my point is this, that this kind of new ideology, when Buddha Babu did come to power, remember that was the first kind of wave after neoliberalization when many Indian states had pro-development CMs. That was a systemic change implemented by many people.
Yeah.
That somebody like Modi, Chandrababu Naidu, Buddha Bhattacharya and some other CMs,
Yes.
even in Bengal, even Karnataka, they were creating high growth economies based on kind of reversing the socialist economy problems, the red tape, the problems. मतलब India को 1990 में liberalization हुआ, that was a good thing. But after that, what happened is these people, they needed more growth, more paisa, more kind of, because they have to invest in some of these economies, right? The West is not growing at that rate. China and India are the only growth engine. China का भी कुछ problem हो रहा है. So वही है जो कि if we need growth, the governance needs to change. That's why UP nobody talks about, if you notice, nobody anymore talks about the problems of the so-called social problems of Uttar Pradesh like they used to earlier, the international media. Yogi Adityanath was a Bond villain, but nobody cares about that anymore. So my point is this, that some reformist people need to come, and need to come matlab they are being told to come. Hence the semiconductor thing in Calcutta, which still nobody believes, because it's so impossible to believe. But if I told you that Samsung would open its largest factory in Uttar Pradesh maybe a decade ago, you wouldn't believe me, right?
Yeah.
But it happened. So that's how some reforms will happen, because some people want reforms, some powerful people want reforms, because you will notice one thing. India has a very limited window of maybe 30-40 years of high growth rate. Okay. And this high growth rate is not just Indians becoming rich, it's also about some elites becoming rich through Indian economy.
Yeah.
And if
Global
that
elites.
Global elites. Now, if a state like West Bengal is pulling down the GDP single-handedly, okay, is pulling down the growth rates single-handedly, then it's a liability, it's not an asset anymore. Then perhaps some things need to change. Also, West Bengal is not some small state. West Bengal is connected to international borders. It was a trade hub even a few years ago. It has
it has sea beaches, it has mountains, it has rivers.
Mountains. It is connected to different international borders. It has a lot of potential if and the British realized that. They used it.
It has 42 MPs even before delimitation.
Precisely. So if there is growth potential, I think that some people are not sitting idle, and we have discussed this in a membership stream, why I feel that change might come in the form of Prince or another Prince. It might come, but that is the thing. That how it will come, I don't know, but I believe it will come. And I'm not being optimistic. I'm simply thinking in a business, like a businessman would, about a place like West Bengal, where they have invested.
Question is interesting and fair here. That I mean, what is the evidence that Abhishek even wants a reform or industrialization and stuff?
Actually, TMC was never completely opposed to industrialization. Okay, you might think they were because they kicked out the Tatas, but Choti has tried to get industry. Okay, uh, yeah, it never worked because clearly
No one
people
just
know.
trusts her.
Yeah, but he wants Kina Jaina, but there is I can't say it with certainty, but he wants reforms. There is certainty because it's no coincidence that a number of old TMC leaders went to jail. Okay, in the not so recent past.
Yeah.
Now, uh, my other problem is that how do you know he wants in, because there was a thing called there was a place called Deutsche Pachami, which apparently has a lot of coal and resources. That did not happen. Okay, that did not happen because the local tribals protested and stuff. Okay, now my point is that, like I'm going on telling you, if you think TMC doesn't want industrialization, that's not true. They want, but they are just unable to do it under the present conditions, under the present party structure and the state bureaucracy and all that. They are just unable to do it right now. So
Now
that's
we'll
why I
take
feel might be.
the Nina's question on Abhishek will be the last one because it's turning out to be a Abhishek Banerjee apology fest today. All of a sudden, we did not plan it this way. We have same questions for Shubhendu as well. So Nina is saying, if at all Abhishek does become the CM and then he plans to do nice stuff, and does that mean he's going to cooperate more with the
How
center?
do you know he isn't cooperative with the center? There's a lot of proof that he is.
Yeah. So
that is my thing.
Okay, Avinav is saying, take my question, please. Let's say, yeah,
पे
take
है
it out.
भाई?
Are you saying that Abhishek can control the rogue elements within TMC better than Pishi, which will instill confidence among industrialists and investors to invest in Bengal? I think he thinks he can. I think he will try. I think he will
होगा
fail.
कि नहीं मालूम नहीं है, होगा कि
Yeah.
नहीं मालूम नहीं है, but there is a effort. There is an effort.
Yeah. There is no effort. He will. Actually, there are efforts at this point as well. Stuff we can only discuss without a camera and a live stream going on. Okay. So now, same question for Shubhendu. What does he need to do to come to power? And what will be the best case scenario if he comes to power? What will be the worst case scenario if he comes to power?
मतलब best case scenario if he comes to power is this will become Assam 2.2. How he can come to power is if I guess some people in the center learn from their mistakes and finally become serious about West Bengal, then he can come to power. I don't see why not, because in 2019, if we tally the Vidhan Sabha votes, Vidhan Sabha seats from the Lok Sabha election, then BJP went up to 122 seats. Okay, BJP needs almost 135 or so, and they can buy 10 MLAs, which they often do in other states. Like if BJP is very close to the center mark, they can just buy 10-20 MLAs and run the government. वो करता है, Operation Lotus चलता है. So that is how he can come to power. And उसके बाद देखो TMC, if it goes out of power, it will never exist. It will cease to exist. If it doesn't go out of power, then it will continue to exist. It's as simple as that. That's why even 130 seats for BJP, BJP aims for 130 very solidly out of 297, then he can buy 20. Okay. That's what will happen, I feel. Anyway, now once he does, if he does, once I hope he does, then best case scenario is Assam 2.0. Okay. Worst case scenario is I don't know. I am hopeful because I'll tell you something weird about West Bengal. Once a party comes to power here now, unless some extreme mishap happens, that party can rule with everyone, like everyone becomes a member of that party. There is no opposition space left effectively. Okay. Even the peacefuls will start cooperating. Okay. Because in West Bengal, it is a completely, authoritarian structure. It is a complete party society at some level. So once a party rules officially, then you can I can almost guarantee you that everyone, from a neurosurgeon to a rickshawala to an autowala to a everyone, puncture wala even, okay, everyone will cooperate with the government because there is no other option but to cooperate with the government. Okay, so that will happen. That I believe. मतलब worst case scenario भी वही है. अभी उसके बाद क्या होगा, डेमोग्राफी वगैरह बीजेपी क्या करेगा डेमोग्राफी लेकर, आई डोंट नो. I honestly do not know. So predicting that is
Barbarica Smriti has an interesting question. Do you think the center is thinking of West Bengal as a potential growth route, or more like a Kashmir-like situation where development is being used as a border security tool?
हाँ आई थिंक दैट मतलब सेंटर को ग्रोथ दिख रहा है कि नहीं आई डोंट नो बट परहैप्स इट माइट think of it that way because Adani certainly is into Adani has met Mamata Banerjee many times and he has proposed many projects. Okay. Now I'm not going to pretend like Modi doesn't know Adani. Okay. I know that they are friends and everything. Okay. So Rishabh, I do not agree with this. I'll come back to you why. Anyway, so if Adani and all these people are interested in developing the region, which I believe they are, and you will know a number of ports and stuff that they've proposed over time,
which mysteriously stopped getting discussed out of the
हाँ
queue.
हाँ हाँ. So वो सब होने के बाद I believe that there is interest. Now, with regards to what he said, this one said, what did he say? The guy who was just
that Shubhendu will join TMC and if he wins in 2022.
I don't think that will ever happen till I'll tell you why. Because he defeated its top leader, okay, in an election, and he has rallied that crazily. You really think I'm telling you something like then you do not know the CM, the present CM of West Bengal properly. If you think Shubhendu is going to join TMC, then you do not know Mamata Banerjee. Okay. Do you understand how? And Shubhendu, even if he never becomes CM, let's say, if he never does, he is already a very powerful opposition leader. He is even being used in national elections by BJP to campaign in different parts of the country.
Yeah, because let's face it, he has a glass ceiling in Trinamool. He won't have a glass ceiling in BJP. You can't go beyond Abhishek in Trinamool, of course.
CM ekdam.
Yeah.
If it ever happens, he can be CM. TMC will never be able to be CM. वो उसको मिनिस्टर भी नहीं, उसको एमएलए काउंसिलर भी नहीं बनाएंगे कहीं पे, ठीक है? He's खत्म. Okay.
No.
So if he will never go back to that party, it makes no sense, and it's worse than suicide. It's like suicide and then jumping into a pond. Okay. So
have poison, cut your wrist, then jump into a pond.
Yeah, मतलब बचेंगे ही नहीं, कोई चांस ही नहीं है. Okay.
Now, this idea of choosing former Trinamool guys to just because of their popular support and all, do you think it needs to come to an end finally after 2024 and stuff, because maybe people are open to fresh faces and stuff, and anti-incumbency is hitting them because they are getting guys from from parties which are already in power?
Yes, that is another factor, I believe. Okay. I believe that helps at times, because I'll tell you why. One factor nobody discusses.
Yes, Nina, that won't stop. That won't stop unless Modi puts up snipers on every tree on the Bangladesh border. Yeah, go on.
But again, that proves that I believe and that Modi could do more in terms of the border, which he doesn't do. Okay.
Yes.
Why, I don't know. I won't comment on that. So Joho, what we were saying is, you were saying is why new faces are required, right, from time to time. And
no,
yes,
that's saying is the time up for new faces from Trinamool? Yeah, I mean, so only fresh faces only from BJP ranks.
That works, because I'll tell you why. That is how Pareto and many others have said it, and honestly, that's how CPM saved itself in the late 90s. Like, by bringing Buddhababu, Nirupam Sen and a few others to the helm of power, they kind of were able to offset the anti-incumbency. So
yes.
that is why I believe it's a potent strategy.
CPM is already preparing for that, which is why they have so many candidates now who are my age. So many.
Yeah.
Deepshita, Meenakshi, Srijan, all of them are my age. They're fucking kids.
Exactly.
They don't know anything.
Exactly. And if you remember, Prashant Kishore is essentially a guy who is a specialist here. Prashant Kishore raises these, मतलब वो अलग से जो करता है, but IPAC वगैरह ये तो वही है. मतलब it builds a new generation of leaders, because they know that वो old करप्ट वो जो 80s का जो बॉलीवुड फिल्म का जो लीडर था, वो पॉलिटिशियन, द मूवीज वेयर मिथुन चक्रवर्ती यूज्ड टू बी अ hero, that kind of politician that we saw, you know,
Yeah.
those politicians won't work in today's age. You need guys who will trend on TikTok, or
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok to nahi hai, matlab, you need somebody who will still be able to connect with the young guys and girls and whatever at some, and frankly people are sick and tired of people like Sharad Pawar and all these people. Even at some level I would say there's a, even Modi fatigue is a real thing. Okay, I mean, there's a guy becomes PM 3 times, that's great. But after that, what, like people want some glimpses of the future, right? There's only so many times you can play the same guys all over again as the good guy. So that's what CPIM did. CPIM changed the guy. They made a new guy the CM 6 months before elections, and that worked. Okay, that totally worked.
Yeah. And
Right.
Deepshita Srijan are being groomed for those situations, because even CPM knows they are going to lose right now, but they are trained. They are trained in the way a campaign runs. They are getting used to how the machineries functions, and every nuts and bolts of a campaign, how to handle money, how to handle people, how to handle the day-to-day retail politician things. And so in 5-10 years they can become MLAs and MPs.
One interesting thing I would say is, like Haryana, right? A lot of people don't understand. For example, Congress was supposed to totally win Haryana, but they promoted Huda, and BJP promoted Saini. I forget that guy's name, the new guy. They removed this one, Khattar. Okay.
Hmm.
They played some politics, of course, and BJP won Haryana. Okay. ये कभी कभी सर्कुलेशन ऑफ एलिट्स जरूरी होता है. हाँ. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So are you saying then that Narendra Modi will face anti-incumbency in 2029? Isn't he going to be the PM for the fourth time comfortably?
No, I believe he will be the PM for the fourth time. I'll tell you why. Because there will be some other factors at play by 2029, which I can, again, I will, if I predict and then it never comes and then everyone is, oh, you are a loser. I'm just going to say that, anyway, I believe that there is, like, look at Rahul Gandhi, man. Bro got 99 seats. Okay, he's celebrating like, वो first prize मिला उसको. जो meme है ना कि the third guy is throwing the champagne and shit. Okay, he pretended like that. Okay, great. हरियाणा में जीता हुआ मैच हार गया पूरा.
Yeah.
जीता हुआ मैच हार गया पूरा. Okay, और वो
Yeah.
जलेबी पाट रहा था. So my point
Yeah.
is, there is nobody to kind of beat Modi at this stage, nationally at least.
Yeah.
State में
So
क्या होगा वो अलग बात है. हाँ.
yeah, what I'm wondering is if at all this problem will be faced by, we kind of touched upon it already, that let's say right now Shubhendu or Abhishek is the CM, and both of them want to get industries. Okay, what do our babus say, or the local West Bengal police and stuff, or whose salary might be 20 rupees but their side non-salary earning is maybe 60 rupees? How the fuck are any of these people going to allow Shubhendu or Abhishek to do any kind of investment or free market
Reforms.
capitalism stuff?
इसी में जो है ना यही, this is where the powers that be become important. Okay, मतलब this is like reforming Dharavi. Okay, if the gods want, and by gods I don't mean actual gods,
I'm not talking
I
about
mean,
want. Let's imagine they want. Let's imagine Modi wants, Abhishek wants, Shubhendu wants. What do they actually do? How is it even possible unless they do some Vivek Ramaswamy stuff?
possible है. देखो,
How?
police and all, controlling them is quite easy. I'll tell you
Are you
why.
going to tell any police officer in West Bengal that no, give up that 60 rupees side
Officer
earning?
के बारे में मत सोचो, IPS के बारे में देखो. The party police officers, they are nothing for West Bengal.
Their cut money goes to top levels also, right?
हाँ वो ठीक है, but main बंदे जो है वो IPS वगैरह है. You have to notice the movements of IPS, the attitudes of IPS, and what the CM, देखो CM, PM, all these people, they basically, what do they do? Their main job is controlling the IAS, IPS people, right? कौन रहेगा, कौन retire करेगा, कौन जाएगा, कौन रहेगा, whatever, right? If those people are shifted or changed, you will notice that things will change. The Bengal the state of
Who
West
are you
Bengal
going
is
to shift or transfer where? Because everyone has that $60
no,
outside
no, no, no,
salary.
no, 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 no. Babu, not all Babus are the same. There are
Hashtag not
Babus
all
who will,
babus.
not all Babus. Okay, so you can't. हाँ, कुछ लोग हैं जो माने they are enjoying power for decades now. Now to shift those guys, you can shift those guys. They are not gods. देखो main बात ये है कि our democracy is stronger in that sense. That imagine if you are able to elect a powerful CM to power, and that guy is not a naka guy like Buddha. I think Buddha Babu had some nakami regarding he thought he was a democratic guy. Gorbachev का आत्मा आ गया था. But imagine if that guy is not democratic. How do you think Modi was able to do what he's been able to do? Right? He has shifted babus like anything. हाँ, pissed off होके बाबू लोग ने कुछ किया है वो अलग बात है. But my point is he has been able to screw them over from time to time.
I don't think anyone was in such rots like West Bengal all over the country, and
देख लो
only.
वैसे देखो no IPS is permanent. No position is permanent in this world. Okay.
Aha,
वो
तो गीता लाइन मने হচ্ছে পুরো।
हाँ, but that's the truth. I mean, these guys get transferred, these guys get changed, these guys get replaced by other people. And these other people might be coming from a completely different background who are completely different.
How much
The
faith do you have on the idea that hashtag not all IPS and not all babus?
I don't have faith in Babus in any way, but I have faith in this one. I have faith in the powers that be. That the top level guys who really, if they want in industry, they will get industry.
If you
Okay.
transfer a corrupt guy from Kolkata to some remote village and you have to replace him with another corrupt guy who also has 60 rupees outside salary, then what? That's the
नहीं नहीं
scene in West Bengal right now.
you are talking logistics. Okay, I'm telling you why are these guys so important for any this thing CM or PM. Okay, they often do the dirty jobs for these guys.
Right.
And by
Fair
dirty
enough.
jobs, I mean the
Yeah,
you
all
know,
kinds. Yeah.
all kinds of jobs. Okay, now if they want a certain kind of reform, they will get guys, similar guys who will get that reform. IAS तो हर साल बनते हैं ना. ऐसा नहीं है कि IAS एकदम वही 4 IAS है हर दुनिया में, हर स्टेट में. They will get other IAS guys, they will get other IPS guys.
I just
Center से बात
can't
करेंगे.
see any scenario where people are ready to part with their black money, which is often more than their legal salary, and at the threat of anything, because their lifestyles depend on it right now, because they are feeding 2-3 girlfriends and
But
5
they are
prostitutes
not
maybe.
the
Then how the
gods.
fuck?
देखो, in an authoritarian, pseudo-authoritarian setup, they are not the gods. The gods are still the elected power people. Why do you think the elections are so important in India still? That they have to rig it and do all the whatever, right? The elections are more important. Those guys, उनका बाप है जो CM के कुर्सी पे बैठता है. Still, whether you like it or not.
They'll conspire and kill the bap.
I guess
What happened
we'll
to
have to
Buddha
talk about it.
Yeah.
Buddha Babu drank his own Kool-Aid. That is the main problem I have with the guy. Okay, he wasn't ruthless. He wasn't actually a very power hungry guy to begin with. That is the main problem. Okay, he was an ascetic weirdo loser. Frankly, I love him for some of the stuff he did, but he was not a good administrator. Everyone says that. Okay, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर वाला काम करवा लेगा लोगों से, मार धार के जो ब्लैकमेल करवा के काम करवा लेगा.
Now
He does not have.
that's where Yogi Ji's question comes in, obviously, because obviously to any such discussions ever in India, we are going to always bring up Yogi Adityanath as the example. But is he an exception, or can he be the rule and
But
norm?
people have done it, not just Yogi. Mamaji did it, Modi did it, Yogi did it. Chandrababu Naidu has done it in the
None
past.
of those people faced a situation like UP or West Bengal. These are distinctly horrible states.
I am telling you, but the advantage of having a pseudo-authoritarian government has always been that, it's easier for the chief minister to implement their vision faster. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, like मतलब CM का बात नहीं सुनेगा तुम गए basically at some level. That's how the state worked. Now, if it is still the case, some of it is still there, and it will definitely. देखो, whatever said and done, Mamta Banerjee is a ruthless politician. Okay, she does not care about your personal feelings and whether you are nice and shit. She has kicked out more people of her party than anyone can imagine. Okay, she
But
has
she
ruined people's
rewards
lives and career.
loyalty 50 times 50 fold.
I don't think so. There are many instances where people loyal to her have been given the boot in many bad ways. Okay.
No, then that would beg
Uh,
the question, then why can't she do anything nice for the state at the moment? Is she just an evil person who doesn't want good things for the state?
she doesn't do it because I'll tell you why. Because it's as simple as this. If I'll tell you the problem with reforms. If you give people money and power and paisa and democracy, they will fuck you over. She knows that very well. Okay. मैंने बोला था ना, this country was best, the longest people who have ruled have been people who have been anti-democratic, anti-reform. She has learned that.
Which is why
Okay.
she was the first female chief minister of CPIM.
Precisely.
Now, what to do with the fertility rate, and does capitalism kill fertility rate? And if capitalism kills fertility rate, why doesn't West Bengal not have either of those two things?
Israel is, one would not call Israel a poor country in any sense of the term. One would not call Israel a failed state or a socialist utopia in any sense of the term. One would not say Israel is not progressive. They have the only LGBTQ friendly country in the Middle East. Okay. Israel has the highest TFR in one of the highest TFRs in the world. So how does Israel do it? Despite development, paisa sab hai. Jews, the per capita income of Israel and compared to the per capita income of India छोड़ दो, West Bengal तो उसका माने मतलब 0.01% भी नहीं होगा.
Yes,
So
sir.
how do Israelis keep the TFR so high?
Yeah. Correlation is not causation.
Yes. So if Japan and South Korea screwed up their TFR, it's because I told you that I had read somewhere that Japan actually had a history of having less children compared to China. China mein the government fucked it up. Okay. But Japan and China were very different in the medieval period because I've read that Japan always had lower population growth.
Yes, exactly. Nina pointing out what we discussed off camera.
Yes. White conservative. Elon Musk has 6 kids. Trump has 4-5 kids.
People in the villages of Texas, Alabama, Wisconsin have 5-6 kids. The richest white men have 5-6 kids. So capitalism does not kill, prosperity does not kill fertility rates.
If anything, it should be able to help you get more kids. I don't see the logic.
Right.
Or agar wo bhi hua, agar let's say socialism did, let's say you take example of Bihar, socialist Bihar.
Right. Yes.
बहुत सारे बच्चे होते थे. Okay.
Yes.
तो उसमें
no
भी
ideology.
वेस्ट बंगाल का कंपटीशन नहीं था ना, मतलब even then
Yeah.
West Bengal is falling behind Bihar in that sense.
Yes. So what we
Bihar
see here is that
minimum
socialism is not killing fertility rates. Capitalism is not killing fertility rates. And as someone pointed out here that but anyway, if none someone said that Judaism explicitly talks about fertility rates. That's why they have fertility rates. We know there's a problem with that argument as well. People don't just follow, do everything just because their book said it.
Are you telling me that a country like Israel, everyone follows the Torah and
therefore has sex and has 5 kids and get married when in their early 20s and then become go on to do great things in their lives? That's not because of the Torah. Then why doesn't West Bengal have fertility rates like socialist Bihar? Neither does it have fertility rates like capitalist Israel. What's going on wrong in West Bengal?
Or capitalist Gujarat for that matter. I'm sure Gujaratis have higher TFR. देख लो एक बार. What is the TFR of Gujarat TFR? Gujarat TFR देख लो. 1.9. 2 in 2015 and 1.9 in 20. मतलब replacement rate से थोड़ा सा नीचे है. You go to this thing, तुम्हारा क्या बोले? So we have 1.6, I think. West Bengal is less than 1.6, I think.
Hmm. I think
In
Barbara
that,
Smithy has got to the root of the problem. Is the education system the only cause behind a low
देखो,
TFR then?
West Bengal is 1.4 in 20, way below replacement rate. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so matlab, if Gujaratis are more prosperous and rich, they are having more kids. They are having close to 2 kids every family, and we are having 1.4 kids. Less than एकदम माने मतलब माने replacement rate से कहीं नीचे. Okay,
Hmm.
so that means that हाँ वही है communism and all that shit. Like, who are your idols? Are your idols people like people who want to have kids, or are your idols like bloody pot smokers who just sit around all day doing nothing? Who
Hmm.
are your idols?
Hmm.
Okay, who if do you have a hedonistic people like in the West, the rich liberals are saying dink double income no kids lifestyle. Okay, so their
Yeah.
idols are those people like Hollywood celebs who don't have kids, and their one kid that is trans or whatever, and वो लोग like पैसा बच्चे करके क्या करेंगे, हाँ whatever. So your idols make your life bad or good.
Hmm.
Okay, if you're
Yeah.
if a Gujju guy who's rich or a Bihari guy who's poor, if their idols are people who are having kids,
Hmm.
uh, then they will have kids. If their idols are those who love their country, they will love their country. A Gujarati loves his country, he's rich. A Bihari loves this country, he's rich. What is happening to the Calcutta liberals? They don't love their country that much, I'm sure.
They like Arundhati Roy
Ha,
and Jhumpa Lahiri.
exactly. And these are the kind of people who who talk about a hedonistic lifestyle. So they think that because the मतलब वेस्टर्न एलिट्स उसमें भी क्या है, कौन कौन एलिट, लिबरल एलिट्स जो है, मतलब
Yeah.
इलॉन मस्क या कोई वो नहीं है, मतलब द टेक्सास पीपल
Trump.
विद द
Even
ऑफ
Trump.
मनी. हाँ, ट्रम्प
Hmm.
इज नॉट देयर एलिट. देयर एलिट्स आर पीपल लाइक बाइडेन, ओबामा एंड ऑल. ओबामा के भी 2 बच्चे हैं बाय द वे. एनीवे, सो ये जो है, योर आइडल्स सक बेसिकली. आई एम सॉरी टू
Now,
से योर आइडल्स सक.
Nina's point is also important that Bangladesh also has a low TFR. I don't think that's because of poverty or something. I think it's just because of inbreeding and incest, I think. Do you think there might be any other reason? Because
I think
why else
no,
would
no.
Bangladesh
There's a
not have?
completely different factor. I think there's a completely. I think they have a
Okay.
very high child mortality rate. I think
That's because of incest and inbreeding, right?
no. Also, their healthcare sucks, man. It's simple as that. The healthcare sucks. Half of them, I guess, die of different communicable diseases and shit.
Hmm.
मतलब
And they are
पहले
getting married at 14, 15.
14, 15, वो सब करके भी I guess eventually half of them are dead or whatever, miscarriages, these that whatever. मतलब खाना वाना नहीं मिलता है, so they are fucked in that sense.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, reservation kills TFR of upper caste Hindus. We are not talking about specifically upper caste, but yeah, possibly. And upper caste Hindus are the largest taxpayers who work 12 hours a day. So yes, and
Yeah,
then watch a bit of
that
IPL
is
before
another
going to
factor.
sleep. Yeah,
और देखो
that's
reservation भी नहीं है. I guess privatization has, देखो, everywhere in India TFR has come down compared to the after post liberalization. TFR has come down a bit, but even then the problem lies that then money in itself is not the problem. Your lifestyle and your idols are the problem.
yeah,
Okay, that is the main issue here.
yeah. Uh, um, yeah, reservation. We just took it. Now, Shourabh Sarkar is saying, "What are your views on Ankit Shah's de-dollarization and de-radicalization?" Yeah, it's on the way
I
to
believe it
happen
to a
anyway.
large extent. I believe it to a
Hmm.
large extent
Yes.
because he is right. It makes a lot of sense.
Hmm. After independence, Bangladesh put a lot of money into reproductive health. That helped collapse their TFR. Hmm.
हाँ, इसको पढ़ना पड़ेगा मुझे.
So,
I don't
meaning
know
family
much.
planning and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
I guess. Oh yeah. Oh, इनका तो दोस्त भी अमेरिका से पैसा वैसा. हाँ, I guess something went wrong there.
Yes. Now, what I'm wondering is, uh, if there is in fact, like we have the main topic of the day, there is no point worrying about Bengal. What
Yeah.
does happen if Bengal does become a lost case, okay? Because will then India be forever and after protected because of staying away from the paralyzed cousin or the paralyzed limb, or is the next victim then going to be Bihar and or UP because they are going through economic upheavals and stuff?
Mm, देखो,
In
my
200 years, will we have the same conversation about UP or Bihar?
I don't think so, personally. I don't think so. Because I have a feeling that global powers that we are shifting in a certain direction that is against मतलब इन लोगों ने ही रेडिकलाइजेशन करवाया था कुछ कुछ पैसा वैसा देके और इन लोगों से ही वो रेडिकलाइजेशन खत्म होगा slowly. That will certainly
Right.
help.
Yeah, actually.
So nothing is permanent again
Right.
to quote Hindu text scriptures.
Yeah.
But having said that, West Bengal right now in the immediate future, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I see no hope, and that's why I've stopped. I don't. I've stopped worrying about it. That's the
What
main thing.
must then the Bengalis listening to this who still live in Bengal? What is your suggestion for them then? Okay, fake no show is saying didn't take my question. I can't see your question. Maybe you gave too much of galis,
अरे
that's why it
इस
got
पे है
deleted.
देखो prof said Hindus are too poor to care. Some logic does same logic does not apply to Muzis. What about Europeans who keep voting non-right idiots? Something bizarre is going on. Hindus are too poor to care. नहीं, ये poverty level कुछ अलग ही है भाई. You don't understand. The
True.
poverty level of West Bengali Hindus is at an all-time low in India, I would say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Bengalis are also, देखो एक तुम जारवा लोगों को ले लोगे, ट्राइबल है, कोई है कि they were never connected to a modern society per se. But West Bengal's problem is that West Bengal was very modern even a few years ago. It was highly developed, had a good economic growth, सब almost normal था. So वहां से when it happens is there's a
That is what
huge
pissed us off with that comment last day in our video, to which you replied early morning, and I woke up and replied to that as well, without even knowing that you replied the same thing. That you see, Kolkata is not just West Bengal. Yes, of course. Now all of a sudden, Bengali Bhadraloks remember Kolkata is just not West Bengal. So rest of the state was not getting food on their tables, which was changed by CPIM. So apparently, in an effort to feed the rest of West Bengal, Kolkata went to hell, and along with that, the entire state went to hell. Okay, what the fuck were they feeding the rest of the state? ऐसा क्या खिलाने के लिए पूरा state का सत्यानाश हो जाता है? So the argument then in the next line was that, see, even Jharkhand, there is so much privatization. They are not being able to do any nice stuff. So why are you pinning it on commies? So some days, some idiot Bengali comes and says, see, we are better than Haryana. There are no honor killings, even though you kill for your own party's honor here. And some days the argument is that we are better than Bihar. We are better than Jharkhand. See, the poverty of aspirations. Everyone is used to this. Everyone is happy about this. Go on comparing yourself with just Jharkhand, Bihar, Haryana. Jharkhand, Bihar, Haryana. Everyone is happy with these things. And if push comes to shove, Hathras. We are better than Hathras. They don't even say fucking Noida. They don't say Lucknow. They don't say Gurgaon. We are better than Hathras. Entire state of West Bengal or Kolkata, entire state of West Bengal might not even be allegedly better than Hathras, but at least Kolkata is better than Hathras. So aren't we going to focus on the decline? When the fuck was Hathras a famous place of great culture and economics? When the fuck was Jharkhand such a place? When the fuck was Bihar such a place?
And honestly, I don't recall any UPI'd bhaiya or any Hathras person coming and telling me that their state has produced so much culture and music and great personalities and their state is superior to every other state in the world. ये सब ज्ञान मेरे को यूपी वाले लोगों ने नहीं दिया है, right?
Yeah.
Only bongs go to other places and emphasize how great West Bengal is. So वो तो backlash होगा. You have judged everyone. You have done Morit Jhapi and then you're judging America for doing Vietnam. Okay. So you are doing Morit Jhapi and then you're judging UP wale bhaiyas for discriminating on caste. or Biharis for discriminating along caste lines.
Yeah.
So you have been judging everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So since you have judged everyone for so long, now everyone will judge you given the new data that everyone's getting. It's as simple as that. You judged everyone. I know, like, Bengalis keep calling Udiyas Ures, Marwaris Meros, and Biharis and UPites Khottas. Okay, in a very derogatory manner, almost like a caste-like comment. Okay,
Yeah.
look, you will judge all of those people for being so-called backwards. When we expose your backwardness, or they expose your backwardness using some data, okay, or academic studies, then something burns in your backside. Why? Okay, and this irony, this bhadralok, this bloody lack of self assessment on the part of the bhadraloks is the main problem. और
Yeah,
यही हमको
at
ले
some point we
डूबेगा.
have to just call a spade a spade. Bhadraloks are fucking idiot assholes. It would have been a
Exactly.
different thing if they were clever assholes. They are idiots who are also assholes. There
Exactly.
lies a huge problem.
They will judge
Um,
Marwaris for being too rich. They will judge Biharis for having too many kids. They will judge Udiyas for speaking what they call
Why do
twisted
they even
Bengali.
hate Odias? I this is the first time I heard this. What exactly is the excuse for hating Odias now?
No, they do. Bengalis think Udiyas are very clever and they take their jobs and stuff.
What jobs are Odias taking?
Everyone takes the job of Bengalis, except Bengalis. Everyone comes outside and takes their jobs. Okay.
Yeah, take our jobs. These immigrants. So in West Bengal, now if we are dead against casteism, we have pointed out casteism more honestly than anybody in the history of India. I think maybe Irfan Habib has done a better job than us, but even at least I am against reservation. Now, even in that situation, therefore, I can't at all claim that Bengalis need reservations to become government bureaucrats and stuff, or Bengali needs to be only Bengali needs to be a compulsory language so that non-Bengalis can't take away your jobs. Now, my of course, the main question is that how, why those so-called uneducated non-Bengalis, how the fuck are they taking your jobs? What different things are they feeding their kids? Why can't you
Precisely.
take their jobs in your own fucking state where you have lived for 5,000 years before the evil non-Bengalis in the Bodhayana text gave you gali and called you mlecha? So why can't you take the job of these Sharmas and Varmas in the IPS? You need reservation for everything.
You know what? One Bihari driver told me recently that bongs are not going into Ola Uber that much. So, and that is true. Noticeably, bongs are much less than Biharis and Epischools. So I asked him, why do you think that is? And he said, because this इसमें खटने वाला job है और बंगाली बाबुओं को खटना नहीं आता है.
There's no word called khatna in Hindi. You are going to make it khatna instead. So explain what is khatna.
Khatna means
বাংলা কে হিন্দিতে বলে দিচ্ছে.
এটা
Hard
আরে
work.
this is Bengali version of Bhojpuri in Calcutta. Okay, this is the unique language. Okay, means hard work. So bongs shy away from hard work, so they don't. So driving a taxi 14 hours a day is hard work, even if it's a AC Uber or Ola or whatever. Okay, you sit for 14 hours a day driving in crappy traffic and all that and tolerate horrible people sometimes. That is very hard work. And that guy told me that even a few years ago, many Bengalis used to be taxiwalas, and now they are stopping because they can't do that hard work. Our researcher who went to Shingu recently to do their work, to research, they told me that the main reason bongs want jobs now is because even agrarian labor जो है, those guys, they are they are stopping. Their sons cannot do the farming के लिए जो basic काम करना पड़ता है, the farmers' kids can't do that if they're Bengali. Even farming is going out of our hands.
I have heard this from legit credentialed people from every profession, that in Kolkata, the only reason even a Bengali guy in a position of power won't hire Bengalis in corporate jobs, real estate development, real estate management, being the middleman and stuff. Not local promoter dalal and stuff, like high end apartments and stuff, like where the apartment costs crores and stuff. Even in
Yeah.
those sectors, Bengalis, even journalism, people are avoiding hiring Bengalis because they are either too lazy or can't follow basic instructions. Not basic instructions, they just
Acha,
don't know what the fuck to do.
highlight Moinakda's last comment in Bengali.
Can you take Orin's statement here, or in the statement here?
Vedanta TFR is killed by over modern form of Vedanta and sannyas. Vedanta में sannyas का कितना part है? That is my question. Is Vedanta an ascetic? Is it promoting an ascetic religion where you stop reproducing? I don't think that's the case, personally speaking. If anything, the core Brahmanical principles used to be that you have to have kids and then you move into the next life or whatever. I don't think it's that. I don't think we have to do more Vedanta reading, but I don't think asceticism is a big part of the Vedanta. I'm talking about the Rig Veda and those associated. I'm not talking about Upanishads and Puranas and later on that came around.
But Vedanta is not Rig Veda, no?
That is the other problem. Like when I say Vedas, like Rig Veda and all, those were different.
Yeah.
So that needs a separate, we need to talk about it separately, read more about it.
Did you mean this comment by Moinak Bhattacharya?
Yeah.
Okay. This is FIR territory.
Moinak has been saying these weird things,
one-liners that he needs to print on his t-shirt.
He has
and walk
also
around
reached
the
my state of
streets
acceptance. Matlab, why I'm not worried. He's no longer
this
worried.
is transcendence.
Yes. Yeah, he has reached it. He has reached my state.
Yeah. Anushilan Samiti is saying, even elite Kolkata medical colleges में भी बंगाली कम हो जा रहा है. Intellectual rights भी गया. Maratha and Punjabis are making more intellectual films with festival.
Yeah, Marathis are doing really well in competitive exams and matlab jo ICSC, ISC, CBSE, Marathis are doing far better than us. I wonder why. Though I wonder why Marathis are doing so well in education.
And
सोच लो मराठा में महाराष्ट्र में क्या हो रहा है, बंगाल में जो ऐसा क्या हो रहा है महाराष्ट्र में.
Now
must be this thing Ganesh Chaturthi.
Yeah. Now I don't know if people get annoyed with me bringing up examples from the music industry every now and then, but that's the industry I'm closest to. I know somewhat of the nitty-gritties inside the. So
it's a dying industry, so let's
yeah. तो ये जो आर्ट एंड कल्चर का घमंड है बंगालियों का, because of the 14 national awards they won 200 years back, or there are good movies even today in London. Okay, see, if we do watch only art films that are not watched by most people, that have basically indie movies, or someone has funded somehow and they have just about ended up making a movie. Yes, that's so far removed from the rest of the society that you can't judge a society or a group of people based on those movies. Those movies can happen anywhere. Are you saying Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Kerala, they don't have art films? So if we are talking about comparing ourselves with other states, then we can't bring in art films because that's something made by the elites in any society in India. Okay, not maybe any people which states which have a general history of having a film industry,
crores or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So even in that, it's not like we are the only ones doing it or we are doing the best stuff. But of course, we are definitely doing better art films than we are doing commercial films. My question is, this fucking can't be an argument that which some Bangla Pakho guys have given in our live chat and comment sections in the last few months, that why are you blaming Bengali commercial movies because they are mass films which cater to a mass. They cater to a mass so hard, and even though the entire country of Bangladesh is ready to watch your Bengali movies there because their movies are bigger hot shit than ours, even then translations of Tamil South Indian movies in Hindi work better than your mass movies. Why the fuck? why are your commercial movies bigger horseshit than everyone everywhere else in India? Okay, no. Of course, our mass movies are better than Bihar's mass movies. Fair enough. What about the decline? Now everyone knows, every commie, every Hindutwadi knows South makes great movies. Okay, some states of the South may make right leaning or pro nationalist or pro Hindu great movies. Some might make commie great movies. Okay, regardless, there are great movies to be found in the entirety of southern India. Goddamn Maharashtra. I have been getting into Ajay Atul stuff a lot these days, and the kind of music they are doing just for one state. Who listens to Marathi music? Even South Indian music, South Indian film music is listened to by people all around the country. Okay, these days. Okay, especially even in places like Berkeley and stuff. Okay, I had an Assamese girlfriend who introduced me to the most numbers of great South Indian music. Okay, what a great unity and diversity thing. So, but people are not really aware of Marathi film industry or Marathi music. The only song they have probably heard is Apsara Ali. But you won't believe the stuff Ajay Atul are doing. The kind of creativity they are being allowed. Okay, the kind of budgets they are getting. I have given that example many times. Just for the movie that was Sairat. So Sairat's remake was Dhadak. तो सैराज का 2 गाने का ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन रिकॉर्डिंग करने के लिए भोसरी के जाते हैं एलए में कोई चूतिया होम स्टूडियो नहीं, एलए के सोनी रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो में, जहां पे बॉलीवुड के 50% बेस्ट बैकग्राउंड स्कोर्स रिकॉर्ड होते हैं. देयर आर 2 चीफ बैकग्राउंड स्कोर ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियोज इन एलए. वन इज फॉक्स स्टूडियो, वन इज सोनी स्टूडियो. ओनली हैंस जिमर थिंक्स हिमसेल्फ अबव एवरीवन एल्स, सो ही रिकॉर्ड्स इन इंग्लैंड, ओके, लंडन. But that's where a local movie industry's songs get recorded. Okay, fair enough. Only one movie's 2 songs. Okay, but you listen to any other song from wo Sairat. You listen to Ajay Atul's songs like Baiga, Tosandrati, Gaunako Kisna, then Bahar Laha Madhumasa, sung by Shreya Ghoshal. Then he hires Bengalis all the time. They hire Bengalis all the time. Shreya Ghoshal, Purbayan Chatterjee, Taposh Roy. No Bengalis who are getting any work in Kolkata. Shreya Ghoshal, of course, gets work because from time to time, people save up the entire movie's budget just to pay Shreya Ghoshal, no matter how hot the song. And Taposh Roy even, from time to time, just to play the mandolins, even if the rest of the song is hot shit. But anyway, so even those Bengalis get hired in the Marathi local industry. Why do they have so much money? Why is their creativity that high? And these things can't be explained to you unless you listen to the songs I just mentioned. You won't believe, and you won't believe how fucking far away it is from both musical brilliance, creativity, courage, bravery, and even just the how advanced the music is in comparison to Kolkata's mainstream Tollywood mainstream cinema songs. Okay, and you can't blame it on just that on the idea that yes, commercial movies have to make bad movies. They are mass movies. तो लाउडे वो मास मूवी मराठी इंडस्ट्री में इतना बढ़िया गाना कैसे बना रहा है एक के बाद एक. So admit that your mass is a fucking idiot, and at least they're not that bit of an idiot that they watch horseshit Jeet movies now and make those bigger hits. They're intelligent than those movies, but people just keep making it as a way to whiten their black money. So Mr. Sociologist, why are even now Marathis leaving us creative geniuses behind?
वो तो मैंने बोला महाराष्ट्र में कुछ हो रहा है. There is some factor in Maharashtra. Very, I guess aliens came there. Like aliens always come to the US in American movies. So aliens came there. Something is happening in Maharashtra that is not happening in West Bengal. We are unlucky that way, you know. It is not our fault that we elected the CPM 7 times and TMC 3 times. It is not the fault of the average Bengali. Okay. Must be somebody else's fault. Must be because the Biharis took away our creativity. Must be that with our jobs.
Yes.
Perhaps
yes.
That is the case.
Yes. And someone made an interesting point. Yeah, about Salim Suleiman. Yes. Can someone confirm if Salim Suleiman are Bohra Muslims? Because their behavior, their lifestyle seems to be very different. Like just a few days back, I heard that Salim Merchant has gone vegetarian because he had some some epiphany when he visited Vrindavan. I have been seeing a Ganesh idol in front of his computer for 6-7 years now, and they have made such great songs on Sri Krishna. Now, the most interesting part about Salim Suleiman is that they have changed the landscape of mainstream Indian music at least 3 times, and nobody even knows about it because they don't get credit for those things. They only get credit for Maula Mere Lele Meri Jaan and Kurba Hua, Kurba Hua, Kurba Hua. No, Kurba Hua is by Vishal and Darlani, right? I don't know.
Shukran Allah was a
Shukran Allah, yeah. But in the year 1999, they came out with the Bhumi album, which they resumed after only the coronavirus. Okay, then they started doing Bhumi 2020, Bhumi 2024, etc. That the genre that they approached in the Bhumi 1999 album was absolutely phenomenal, far ahead of anyone else was doing. Then they assist Jatin Lalit for years and years. Then the moment they get into background scoring industry of Bollywood changes, and the first time they get credit was probably in Dhoom, and nobody even notices those things. But before that, whoever composed the songs used to get credit for every fucking thing in the entire movie. Then they changed the landscape of background scores. Then they get into song composition and arrangement themselves, and then they changed that genre again, and now they are changing the face of non-filmy songs as well. It's again new genres. Oh, Dolby Walia tu bola tu maza DJ la. That song needs to be listened to by everyone
Kiyotaka
again.
has a good point right above that. Precisely
Kiyotaka-
what we're trying to say.
Absolutely. Of course.
Thanks to development and capitalism, if you have money in your pocket, you can afford to go for concerts and good cassettes and good movies and better quality food and all that stuff, and even better quality education and lifestyle, and even support more kids if you want.
Yeah.
And
Now, yeah, you're gone.
anyway, that is I was gonna say, yeah, I guess I have chewed your brains enough for
Now,
tonight. But if you have a last thing to say, let's get
yeah.
to that.
This point is actually important, that mass films getting mass rejections, and I am aware that a bunch of South Indian film distributors have realized that there is a huge market for Hindi translations of South Indian cinema in entire Bangladesh and in entire West Bengal, because they also know that the masses of Bengal and Bangladesh are rejecting the mass movies. Okay, so what happens then? What does Tollywood do if those films, which for now are getting translated into Hindi, and the biggest budget Kannada movie in the history of Kannada industry, that already released in Bengali, and my friend's studio is getting the projects for the Bengali dubbing of countless South Indian films, one after the other, from songs to dialogues, everything is going to come out in Bengali. What are you going to do then? Because there is creativity in their mass products as well.
Doge. If Bengal needs to work, Doge chahiye, Doge.
Yes.
Department of Government Efficiency.
Yes. Kantara 2 is also going to come out in Bengali, and hopefully I'll do some voices. At least I did the translation for the teaser. Can you believe it? Now, Impressed saying, Dada, please highlight my comment. Oh, Mr. Sociologist is my ideal. So he's going to emulate your lifestyle. He's going to go anonymous and pursue a PhD.
Karo. Anonymous raho, kyunki koi dikh jayega. We still don't.
Yeah, this is the point. That we are always watching South Indian movies in barber shops. Why aren't you watching mass movies of our Bengali heroes? Why not?
Anyway,
okay.
Chalo.
Yeah.
Good night.
All topics are covered, I think.
No, we can always, have more discussions on associated topics always, as we have done in the past. But
yes,
it's just stop worrying and do your bit, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Thank you for joining the live stream, guys. Good night.
वंशवरूढं महाभीमं गुणाद्रष्टाङ्गरप्रदम् अस्य युक्तं त्रिनेत्रं च कपालकर्णिकाकरान् मुक्तकेशीं ललज्जयं पिबन्तीं रुधिरं चतुर्बाहुः समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् काली काली महाकाली कालिके पापहारिणी धर्मर्थ मोक्षदे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते धर्मर्थ मोक्षदे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते काली काली